Welcome to another Pitcher Partners Property Update. My name's Andrew Clugston and joining me today is William Zhang. William's a manager in our tax consulting division specialising in transaction taxes, and today we're going to talk about land tax specifically here in Victoria and the recent Supreme Court ruling which impacts the primary production exemption. So welcome, William.
Thank you, Andrew.
Perhaps if we just start by giving a bit of an overview of the recent ruling and how it'll impact the exemptions.
Thank you. The decision we refer to is the Burgess case. The Burgess decision has a significant impact on the manner in which the primary production exemption has been applying. By way of background, whether the primary production exemption is available on a particular land depends very much on where the land is located. Importantly, for land that are located within Greater Melbourne and inside an urban zone, the test to be satisfied in order to receive the primary production exemption is a lot more stringent than land that are located outside Greater Melbourne. So going into in more detail, for the land that are located inside an urban zone, in order to receive the exemption, not only the land itself, the activities carried on the land must be in the business of primary production, but the owner of the land must also be conducting business of primary production in a substantially full-time capacity. So we found a lot of the times the second limb, the owner test, is a lot more difficult to satisfy. What the Burgess decision has done is that it has limited the boundary, the Greater Melbourne boundary, or what the Commissioner believed to be the Greater Melbourne boundary, into a much smaller area. So what it means is that most of the land in Melbourne or in Victoria now will be located outside Greater Melbourne since the Burgess decision. So the implication is that it's good news for taxpayer, because now if you own farmland, the chances are you'll be outside Greater Melbourne for land tax purposes, and therefore you don't have to satisfy the more stringent ownership test. So we believe this presents an opportunity for a lot of taxpayers to review their land tax assessments in the past and see if they can now satisfy the exemption, the primary production exemption.
So for a number of our clients who are conducting property developments in the outer regions of Melbourne in the past, potentially to get the exemption, they need to be actually farming that land themselves, whereas now they can lease that land to someone else to farm and potentially still get the land tax exemption. So what are you suggesting we do or our clients do if they think this might apply to them?
So what we are doing at the moment is helping our clients who has primary production land, reviewing their land tax position. In several instances, we're actually applying for substantial refund. So as long as there's primary production being carried on the land, there's a good chance of getting the exemption. So what we suggest is if you have land that you have primary production activities on it and currently not subject to a land tax exemption, come and speak to one of us, and we'll see whether we can assist you in getting a refund or getting exemption going forward.
Okay, well thanks for that, William. And as I understand it, you can actually apply for the refund going back 5 years, so it can run into several hundreds of thousands of dollars of land tax.
Yeah, correct. So the refund, we can apply for 5 years of refund if the exemption is available. And one thing I should mention is that the exemption is currently under appeal, which means that my view today may change depending on the outcome of that appeal.
Okay, well thanks for that, William, and we'll certainly provide you an update of how that appeal proceeds in the future. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Andrew.